Okay guys, you know I should have had some paper ready. Today I want to try out the new Crafters Companion Twist and Pop I guess bundle or items. You know, I haven't checked Craftstash. I know I got these on HSN. I know it's sold out as far as this bundle. They do have some other of the Twist and Pops, but not the mechanism on HSN. But if you have the Precious Memories, Precious Moments, whatever it was called, there was always like two names, packaging, and then what they would say. You might already have this. And, you know, Anna Griffin has one of these. I mean, everybody has something like this in their arsenal as far as companies go. So you might have already the basic mechanism. But I'll have links in the description box that would normally be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. Like I said, these are sold out. I have not checked Craftstash. They might have them there. Craftstash is having a little hiccup right now with the affiliate thing. So if I had the link, it might work. I thought the link would still get you there even if I didn't get credit for it because they're having some kind of problems. But some people were telling me that the links just aren't working. So I probably won't even try that yet because it's still something they got to work on. But so thank you guys. But yeah, it's kind of weird. If you guys recall, I returned my Precious Memories, Precious Moments, whatever, whole bundle thing. And I don't remember if this is part of the auto ship or if I got it separately. I do have a Twist and Pop somewhere. And then a long time ago, I made a video on how to make your own mechanism because it's like not the hardest thing in the world. But it is kind of weird because the measurements are odd. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, we'll talk about that later. And then, of course, whatever size you want, what kind of mechanism you want, right? This Twist and Pop part of it, because maybe you want to make a smaller card. You don't need it to be this bigger mechanism. So that all plays into how you're going to work with it if you're making your own. But today we're going to use this one. You know, and looking at the items that like this, like, I don't know. I can see that they colored these with like markers, maybe watercolors. I think these are markers, but I'm saying there's different ways to color. I don't know what I want to do. I might do a mix of both because I don't really feel like spending a lot of time coloring, but maybe do the cupcake wrappers with regular paper, you know, just run them through again, and then do the markers on the top. I don't know. The balloons would probably be easier, to be honest, to work with. What they did here is they just pieced in different colors, right? So this piece will cut all these balloons out. Not completely, obviously, they have these little lines, but you just snip, snip, and then you can put in a new color over what you had there. So that's another way of looking at them. I feel like it needs to be the cupcakes. All right, fine. We'll do the cupcakes. It is a weird, I don't know. All right, so this is the Cake Time set and this set. So what I'm gonna do is see if they recommend a certain size of card. I don't like destroying this packaging, but you know what? It's gonna have to be destroyed. Sometimes you can pop it open and it just goes pop, and then you're lucky and you can put it back away in there. I just like having this for like the little images that are still on here. But they're basically the same images that are on this paper, so. Advanced Twist and Pop instructions. Okay, so this is the other thing that's on HSN right now, and they're still available, and they have like a rectangular one too. So this has like ovals that are cute. They do not have the mechanism. But again, if you already have this mechanism for another kit, then you're still good to go. Run the mechanism. Okay, we got that. We understand that. Yep. I just want to see if it tells you what size card you should have. Your card should now look. No. Interesting. Okay, well then we're going to try and see what would be the best size, I guess. It depends on, see how the width of this, when it folds in, that's pretty much what you're looking at. Like how wide are these cupcakes, and that's literally how wide you need your card to be, at least that wide, right? With it maybe a little bit extra. But maybe this part will tell you. Nope, they're the same instructions. Okay, all right. That's funny. Are these exactly the same? No, this is smaller, but they're the exact same instructions. All right, well then let's go ahead and I'll grab some papers. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention, if you don't have these yet and you're interested in getting them, on the back of this packaging it says this is not for the Gemini Junior or the Go. Obviously it's not for the Go, it's really small. Not for Gemini Junior, it says the big Gemini you can do. Having said that, in the demo, I believe I remember Sarah saying on HSN that it goes through the Gemini Junior. She said, oh yeah, these will work in your Junior, and because she's using the Pro in the video. So that's kind of crazy. But let me see here. All right, well, guess what I'll be using today is the diamond press. Make it easy. So that's what I'm gonna do. Not that it's harder to go through a mechanical machine, but you can just crank it out on your diamond press and we're good to go. So I'm gonna grab some paper. I'm definitely going to use white paper, I guess, for this one. Stamping paper. And I'll back them up with some kind of color. Anyway, I'll be right back. I have some craft card and I have some white stamping card, and that's what I'm gonna use. Ooh, be careful with this guy. He has a little bit of tenderness, as you can see. Look at, don't want to tear that. So we'll do this. Oh, you know, I haven't heard from any of my girls. Please follow up with me on if you bought the Gemini Pro and what you think of it, or yeah, I'm very curious. And I know some of you guys picked it up, but I haven't heard anything back yet. Any follow-up. I am going to put a little tape just because I don't want that to move. And then on the other half of this, I'm going to use this guy. Put that plastic carrier somewhere so it doesn't cause me heartache. And I'll put this here. And what I mean by that is that I always get stuff stuck to those plastic carrier sheets. And if it's instructions, if it's my actual card, which is always a bummer. Really kind of not good. All right, so let me see how big this is. If I can run this through a regular folder, I'll do that. Because I have tons of regular folders. It's a little bit big. I'll just show you still on this one because it's small. When it's something like this and it's still sticking out, what I would do is tape so it's secure. I know it's not going to move. And you can do this with the bigger pieces like the cupcakes or however. So I'll roll this through, and whatever's hanging out at the other end, I'll pick this up. Try not to shift it too much, just making sure it's still in the same spot. And then I'll just run through that little portion that's left just so it doesn't double over the same area again too much. Just in case it shifts and you don't want it to like... Oh, come on, buddy. Let's go. See? You know what? I didn't angle it. Remember how I told you guys you want to angle things so that the rollers hit it just right? And there is our little guy. And I didn't even have to use an extended folder or anything. Okay, there's score lines and all that. So I'm going to run everything through. And I'm going to run the bigger guy through with a bigger envelope. Or folder. Envelope. What am I even talking about? Alright. I'll put this guy in here. And then I'll run the insert part of this through. And I'll be back, you know how when I roll it and I come back and I'll show you it coming out. That's what I'll do. I'll be right back. All right. This one feels much thicker because it's a very full die. As you can see, it's just not empty in the back like, you know, this one. This went right through, cut like butter, and look at that. So cute. Oh, I could get stuck on the very edge. Hold on. This last little piece did not cut through. So as I was going through with this, it shifted on me. And that's why I say to glue it down, not glue it down, tape it down pretty well, because sometimes the die will shift when it's a bigger die like this, but either way. Okay. I just trimmed that last little piece off. And then like this guy shifted on me too, just a little bit, even though I taped it, I can feel towards the end anyway. Did a little popping. Ooh, look at that. So this die is obviously a little bit smaller than that outer die, because this one gives it an outer edge. Oh, it gives it quite a bit of edge. They look cute just like this. So I'm like, I don't want to ruin this. You know what I'm saying? They look so pristine and cute. But what I'm going to do to get cupcake liners is run this through. Now the easiest thing, okay, so all these little pieces that are coming out, you could paper piece them back in here if you wanted to, right? Not white ones, but like let's say you ran this through some other color and then you put sprinkles in, which is basically probably part of what we're going to do. And that's kind of why I'm debating, like, why don't I just... I don't know. I don't know how I want to decorate these, to be honest. I was going to run through just pieces of paper down here just to get maybe twice, like 2 different colors, you know, so that it'll like, they'll like pink, yellow, or whatever colors I decide to use. But let me think about that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cut a couple pieces of paper. Actually, I used these recently in like a coral and like a deeper kind of coral color here. And I just kind of looked at this and eyeballed kind of where this would be to cover that bottom part, and that's all I want. So I'm just going to run them through twice, once with this paper on here. I just want to make sure I'm covering that whole area that I need. for some tape. And then I'll run it through again with this coral one, and all I'm trying to do is get cupcake liners in this pass, and I'll be back. When I picked that up, these all just popped out, and that's all I want. I just want this bottom part, and it's going to be easy to trim them off, and then we'll add them. So I have this piece. If you are interested in paper piecing, again, like I said, back in, what I'll probably do... You know, I think I don't mind the brown sticking out, but if you wanted to, like let's say on this next one, the coral one, I would keep all these little strips and use them for the next time. But anyway, that's just an option. Okay, I'm gonna run it through this other one and I'll be back. So I'm keeping whatever little bits that might come out over here because I think I might piece back in the little hearts, and I have all the little hearts, I hope. If not, I'll have to run it through again, but let me see, 2, 3, 5. I should have 6 hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have them all. Okay. From the white paper, I'm just going to color those, I suppose. All right. So on these guys, basically what I'm going to do is just get rid of this, get rid of this. Actually, it kind of looks nice if you can just keep them all together and just do them all pink, right? Because they kind of hold on together. But we're not going to do that. So let me take a scissor. See, that one's already nipped where you want it. And just come in and just trim away whatever excess, wherever you think would be a good place to nip it, like that. And then that one's just going to sit right in there. Now, if you're using different colors, I'm saying it's kind of nice to have just the one color go across all of them. If you want them all pink. If you want to keep working on it, you're going to cut them up. And now I'm thinking maybe I should keep them all pink. Maybe it's nice to switch them out. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't know how high or how much. I'm just going to get rid of some of that. And this one already has like little something coming around here, so I'm nipping that area. And this one too. And so this is pretty much why I make the videos I make, because you're seeing what it actually takes to get this done. And I'm just looking where I want to put my little surgical nips and tucks. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, like, if you wanted to keep this all together, you can definitely do that and stick them down, and you're done, right? You're going to stick them down. Everybody has a pink wrapper. If you want to switch out the wrappers, and I think the easiest thing would be to, you can actually just pile one on top of the other. I can't tell, like, this kind of wants to come this way, it seems like, right? Like, that's part of this other guy. So we'll see. If it doesn't look good, then I will just keep what I have. So I'm going to nip this away. Just that little bit there. Boop. And it looks like this one needs to be like right in this crack area here. And you can just keep it on top of the pink that's already there, or you can cut away the pink, you know? So I'm looking at it to see what would be better. And this one too, it looks like this guy is in front of this other one. So I'm gonna go this way. Oh, a little bit more. And up right here. So then it looks like that guy is kind of in front of this one. Does that make sense? I don't really like that look though. Hold on. Just a little bit more like this. Just a little bit. Okay. The other thing we have to worry about is that when we're bending and folding it, all these little pieces that we're cutting and doing fun things with are going to be also bent and folded. So you have to kind of think about where we're placing these lines just so they don't look horrible later. All right, put that to the side. We have all these things. We need to color this in, I suppose, which is another weird thing. Not kind of interesting. I don't know what I want to do with this. Let's look at the picture. Yeah. Okay, well, let me grab some different colors for the icing, and I'll be right back. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of afraid of this. I don't know. Let me find... Okay, I have a scrap piece of paper here. Basically, we want to color in what is like cupcake. I got this tan blend. I thought that might be the best one for like a cupcake look. So I'm going to come in here and just color this in. This is all going to be covered anyway, so I'm trying to stay away from this little area here. But as you can see, there's little dashes. If you just want to get rid of that and, you know, put in a piece of paper that's like a brownish color, then that's, you know, going to be great. I'm going to use the medium color and just bring in some shading here. I don't know that I'm going to do much more than medium and the light color, because the dark part of this one is very dark, and I think that'll give enough of a baked look. No? Is this one also... I think on this one we can come all the way down with the icing, and this one too, but this one looks like it's on top. So again, I'm just going to come in, color it as much as I can, staying away from that little frosting area. I picked out some colors supposedly that are frosting. I don't know. I would like this one to be white, but I'm like, what's the shadow for white on a frosting? You know, usually I use like a light blue. I was thinking maybe gray, but then I thought that looked gross. I don't know. When you think of a cupcake, you know, everything gray, like that doesn't sound yummy. But like, I don't know. Maybe it'll look fine. Trying to get that right in here. Trying to get that blended a little better. Okay. And this one can also come all the way down, but it kind of looks like it's sitting on top. We'll just leave those two. Those two have bears, and then these other ones we're going to color. So like I have this like pinkish coral blend. Oh my goodness. Oh, maybe a light, no. Yeah, maybe like a yellowish color, huh? Okay, like this one. I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to follow along here. It's an interesting color, this coral. I just thought it would be a cute color, but we'll see. It may not be. I just pick colors, that's all. It's a little bit brown. I'm following the lines. Obviously, I'm going to color in more, but I just kind of want to, for now, follow these lines. And then I'll come in with the darkest color, too. Like in here. You see how this color is very dark? It's kind of an interesting color. I don't know where to stop and start with this. I'm not gonna lie. Just kind of following these little swirls here and here, and coming back in with that lightest. I know, it looks like a hot mess, but I left that middle section light just so it would be lighter when I do come in. It won't get as dark as the rest of it because of the way I left that light in the center, unless you keep building up. But even at that, there's already color in other spots, so it's just going to keep building up. And I'm going to get more of this middle color in here, though. I don't know if it needs to go around the edge. So basically, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go around adding some color. And then I'll go over this again with the lightest color. And I think I'm going to pick a yellow to help me make it look white, like I had mentioned earlier. And again, let's get this all blended through. I have no idea. Never done this before. I normally just paper back in, you know. Pretty cute. Not bad. This one. Let me see if I can grab a yellow real quick. That might make sense. So this is gold yellow. Let me see what this might look like. Yeah, maybe. And just kind of go into this little cherry, follow this around. I don't know. It's not my favorite. But that's okay. And this is supposed to look like a piece of waffle cone, I think. So maybe I'll use the tan blend for that too. I did not take the time to emboss. There is a little bit of embossing on this, like on the waffle cone part. That's the only thing I think that has embossing is right here. But I didn't do that, so I'm just going to color this in and just make it look a little bit darker here. I am bringing that darker edge. I guess if I really wanted to, I can just remake those lines. All right, so I'm going to take a minute to kind of go through this thing and try to make it look lovely. And I'll be back when I think I'm done coloring. Okay, I think I am done doing this. I left these little white areas. Okay, what I want to show you is I kept the little hearts, and all I did was literally dab them with the red, lightest color with my red. Somebody asked where I got such a bright red in the tri-blends, because I guess in their set it's not like that. I don't know. This is the dark red blend that came with the first set of tri-blend brush tips. And that's the lightest red in there, and this is the darkest. So I don't know what you got in yours. I hope it's the same. All I did was dab it with the light color and then put a little bit of the medium. Same thing I did here. I'm gonna leave that one like a white frosting. This I used a very light pale pink, supposedly. It has white. I left white areas, and I think that's all I'm gonna do is pop in white sprinkles. This one, again, I put the red hearts, and then that guy and that guy. And all I did was that yellow undertone on this guy. Now, I don't know if I should fold these first or not. I'm gonna fold them right now, because they're gonna go one way or the other. I don't know which way that is right now. So I'm looking for their score lines and just giving them a score, because we are going to glue this to that craft cardstock. And honestly, if you wanted to just cut off these bases, you can, because mine are going to be triple like thick. So it's possible that maybe I should cut those away. We'll see when we get there. Again, this is all part of it. I kept the little white sprinkles. I fished them out of this area that I had here. So I'm going to move this, hopefully. Okay, and not lose any of those pieces. We will see. Again, I have no idea, because this part was not discussed, you know. When they do the demos, it's a quick thing. Like if I glue all this down, this is all going to be here. This is all going to be in the fold, and it's going to be kind of thick. And then I'm adding even more to go into that fold, but I think it might be okay, because this paper's pretty thin. Okay, so next up, I'm going to glue this whole thing down. Like I said, if you want to trim away any of this coral part, then do that, you know. I'm leaving it because laziness, but you can definitely trim that away. All right, let's go. Putting glue wherever. All the way up here. So these are going to fold on these edges, so you want to make sure the edge, you know, is where they meet, that has plenty of glue. I don't want that coming up later, doing anything funky. And I'm just going to put a little glue on these. That should be good enough. I'm going to start over here and pay attention to where I'm putting this down. That looks pretty good. Go to the next one. Pretty good. Pretty good and pretty good. All right. Now look how pretty those look. Just with that, like I said, you don't have to go back and add a second different cupcake wrapper. Now again, do you want to keep all these little strips? Let me find if I like this darker one and pop them in. You know, when you go to your base, it looks cute. Go for it. I am not gonna take that time. Okay. So we have these guys. I'm gonna put this on here. And look how cute that looks, that white. Now it pops, right? Because before it was just like whatever. Oh, I forgot I'm gonna leave that white, so I need to put the yellow like I did on this one, huh? I mean, it looks kind of cute by itself, but just to add a little something so it's not like you just forgot. And yellow, I guess, is the most appetizing color I can think of. Like I said, if you use light blue, it's kind of funky. If you use a gray, that's not as appetizing looking. Maybe a light, soft, like pink. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna let this set in for just a minute. So what I was trying to say is that, and you see what I did here? I decided this, but maybe this is supposed to go that, I don't know. I decided this is the one that we should keep. That's just, you know, again, my own preference. You can do whatever you like. So what's weird is that the folds are here and there and kind of, I don't want to hurt my little project. So there's that one. Here's this one, and we're going to fold it backwards and forward just so we can have a good crease. Just kind of pre-messing with them, basically, is all I'm doing, right? And this one's pretty much right on that edge, so that's good. Now this guy, same thing. Kind of interesting. Where are the... Oh, okay. Those don't have any score lines because of the way it is like this. So basically, this is going to be dictated by, oopsie, these score lines, you know? Very interesting. So I'm gonna have to glue this down, and then we'll mess with that also. Now, I guess you can give those some dimension, but I think they need to go flat. This is the most, I think, time-consuming part of this whole project, obviously. I'm gonna glue this down. And it depends on, again, how you want to decorate them. I don't want people to be discouraged because like, oh, that takes so much time. I think it's gonna be really cute and it's gonna be worth the time, but it does take some time. And again, it depends, like I colored them. Maybe you want to just use different papers that you're gonna paper piece in there. I know paper piecing is not a dirty word, you guys. It's okay. Sometimes we like to do that and sometimes we don't. Okay. Trying to make sure that that's pretty good. So I'm gonna try to keep this flat for a minute. And as I'm doing that, like on this side, I'm not really gonna do much over here. So I think I can put my marquee on here just to help me out. And while that's that, I'm going to put little pops of glue in here, in here, in here. These are different sized hearts. Hopefully, I don't know if you can tell. So we do have to put the right heart in the right spot. Like I can tell this is the biggest one and that one fit right in there. One that's a little bit smaller, maybe this one. I don't think that came from there. And if it doesn't feel right, you know, that's not the one for there. I think it's probably better over here. Yep. They're all a little bit different. Not all of them, but some of them seem to be a little bit different size. Like this one looks like a small guy. A little bit too big for that spot. How about this one? Yep, there it goes. I can tell this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put him over here. The only one I'm concerned with is this guy. I think he's the little one. Yep. And then the last one. And if they're not quite right, you know what? That's okay. Look at that. But they are a little bit different size, so it's kind of a pain. I do not know if this one is all a different size. It looks like this one's fatter than this one here. So that could be problematic, but I'm going to go through, guys, and just add in these little guys. You do not have to do this. And also, depending on the background paper, I use craft paper, but if you're using like a cute color, then let that be your sprinkles, you know? But I am going to go through and pop in the sprinkles. Hopefully they just look like they're different sizes, but they're actually the same size. A lot of these appear to be about the same. So I'm just going to go through and pop in white sprinkles. Oopsie. See, that one looks a little bit smaller, right? I think it goes there. Let me take that one out. Dude, this is what it takes, guys. That's all I'm showing. Okay, I'll be back. I think that took enough time. And I'm doing this a little bit backwards because I could have, you know, made the card base first. But again, we don't really know what size we want. Now, what I'm going to do is maybe I can score these a little bit without just bending them and seeing where it wants to fold. You know what I'm saying? So if, you know, I'll use my blue line. That blue line is basically telling me that's 4 1/4 because that's the score line I use probably the most. And I'm just going to come in here and give it a little score just to help me out. You know, just to hopefully help me fold that nicer. Yep, that's a lot better. Okay, so we have that one. Oh gosh, that is scary. Folding that one backwards does not feel good. Okay, where's the line on this one? It's like right in here to right there. Yep. Again, we have some stuff piled up on top of each other, so it's not the easiest. Oh, that one's better. It's that backwards fold. That does not feel good. That feels like it's going to tear these papers. And they have to fold, you guys. Like, you can't not let it fold. It has to fold. So we're going to play with that a little bit more. And then here, I suppose if you want to cut the cupcakes apart and see if that helps you, or how whenever I talk about when we do, you know, this one's a little bit more over. Interesting. It's like right there. When we do our pop-ups, sometimes you have to play with that. Oh goodness. Oh, that's so scary. Okay, it's gonna go like this, so we really don't have to mess with it too much, right? This middle part needs to come forward, which I pretty much have it doing. Oh, and then these guys have to go back like this. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give them a little bit of a squish. Really, that final squish is when we actually put it in the card. But for now, there they are. Oh, I can tell this is gonna start tearing right here. Maybe. All right. Now, this is our piece here. And then basically this piece, you know, you see that there's a fold here. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of faint, but there it goes. And there's a fold here. And recall Sarah in her HSN demo saying just to make sure to fold it back and forth in different ways, just to train it to just kind of be wonky and do what it feels like. So having done that, you saw that I folded like a taco and folded backwards. Folded these. Just playing with it, it already wants to just boop, do this. And that's it. Okay, hopefully you see what I'm doing. These are going in, and just doing that, it makes it make its little house. And we need that little house. That little house is going to be stuck inside our card. And then these pieces, when it opens up, when you open your card, are going to go like this. Okay, I know it's weird, but basically this is going to be stuck here, and this is going to be stuck over here. And then it folds. Oop. However, obviously it's not stuck down right now, so it doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do, but something like that, basically. So if you look at that, and this is in the crack of your card needs to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4 inches plus a little extra. I think if you put this in a standard A2, the 4 1/4 might be very tight, but it might work. You guys want to try to put in a standard? And then 2, 4, 5 1/2 tall. We can try it. Let's try it, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll put it in a bigger card, okay? So I'm going to cut a card base that is standard A2 size card, and I'll be right back. So for me to find this out, I really have to stick the stuff down. So I'm going to put this to the side. I have a standard A2 size card, which again is 8 1/2 by 5 11 piece of paper, just your standard A2 size, cut at 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4 so that it's a card here. I'm going to line it. Now, I'm going to make it so it's oriented this way. I'm looking at the cupcakes like this. But if you... What the heck? Something got here. This was not like this seconds ago, but you know what? I must have put something on top of it that got dirty. Most of that will be covered. Oh, what a bummer. But either way, so I cut these little pieces of paper that are just a little bit smaller than 4 1/4, just so that I can completely mat the inside of the card. But if you wanted it to be like cut down a little bit, and I'm oriented it this way, it might be when we open our cupcakes, they're going to go this way. And if you want to orient your paper that way, then that's up to you. You know, I'm just putting it this way. I do not know what happened there. So weird. Oh, come on, paper. Not paper, glue. Glue is acting funny. So I'm adding another layer of, hopefully not something that'll be problematic, but who knows. All right, so I'm going to put that in there. And make sure that's good and dry before we start popping in other things. Yeah, this is weird. Something just happened to this paper, like right now. I must have ink on the bottom of something. Okay. Oopsie. Let's go this way. And so that is leaving a space in the center. Again, that's just my preference, because if you were to just put your paper straight across and score it, it's going to pull and it's going to make a problem for us. So I'm just doing it this way. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and put this part in too, because this part needs to also go in here and pretty much dry, you know. I like to use wet glues because unless you rip it, it's not going to come out. So if you like to use liners, ATGs, whatever, runners, put a ton of it. I'm going to use wet glue. So I'm going to be careful that it doesn't seep all over the place, like out in this area. That's not where you want it. And also here. And I'm going to put this right in the middle. And if for some reason this does not work, it's too tight, then we will make another one and put it in a different card. So that's all I'm doing right now. And since this glue kind of reacts pretty quickly, I can kind of open it and just make sure that I'm not getting the glue seeping out, right? We don't want it to touch everything, but we do want that to stay in there. So hopefully we'll have some success here. I'm going to wait for that just a minute. So I will be back. Maybe I'll just pop this on top of here. And I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, we'll see. Maybe that's long enough. I did some cleaning up. Maybe I should have done a little bit more, like all this stuff. So I have plenty of little dots that came out that I could also pop into here if I wanted, you know, all that kind of stuff. But okay, so now we have this, and this is how it opens. And I'm not reading any of the instructions. Hopefully you've noticed, or maybe you've noticed. I've done these enough where I recall that that's what, you know, it needs to happen. But here we're basically at step 7. So I've already walked you through. And again, she made this part first. You know, I went ahead and decorated all that before. Like I'm saying, even just white, it looks really cute. Like if you don't want to do anything, but... All right, and then that's when we talk about the mechanism right in the center there. And then your card should now look like our example, which is this, which is great. And now all you're gonna do is put glue in opposite corners. Now you can put it up in the top and down at the bottom, you know, however, and then you add your panel. Now this is the part where I would use a dry glue because, okay, so when Sarah did hers, she basically put glue up here and down here on her HSN demo, which as I recall, and then when it goes to close, you know, it does its thing, it's gonna go this way and it pulls it. So opposites. I'm gonna do what the instructions show just because, you know, that way we're on the same page. It doesn't say how far in to put the glue or what to do, so, or even how far these need to come in or out, or, you know. I'm scared to use this glue. I like it because it dries fast, but it dries so fast that if I mess this up, then I'm gonna have to probably tear it out, but that's okay, I guess. Let's put some glue there and some glue here. I don't know. It doesn't really say how far, like I said. What I'm going to do is hold on to it. So we're going to take this cupcake, one of the panels. I guess you can open it up and see about how far it should go, right? That's kind of a helper. And I'm going to stick it down here and stick this one up on the top. And I'm going to try to close it, only because I'm using the wet glue. Oh, see? Hold on. One definitely has to be on top and one definitely has to be at the bottom. I want to try to close it to see where we're at. I think we might be okay. Again, when it opens up, it's going to look like this, so maybe this should be a little bit higher, actually. No, no, no. Higher up, so that mechanism's not showing. I'm looking behind it, and I can see the mechanism sticking out back there, so I don't want that. I want this a little bit higher up. Let's see what happens when we try to close it. It should start twisting on itself somewhere. Is it going this way? Oh, this is not fun. Hold on. At some point it needs to come in and twist, you know? So I'm trying to see where that twist should go. It's gonna go this way. No, this way. Okay, I do not like that. I feel like it's gonna go like this. Okay, there we go. It needs to go that way. So that's basically what I'm telling you. You have to kind of train and see where it is that should be stuck down. Okay. Sticking out a little bit right here, unfortunately, but that's what we got. What I can do is maybe open this up just a little bit. Maybe I'll just leave it there for now. Oh, goodness. Now let's see. Yep, okay. That's it, guys. I probably could have pushed it a little bit closer, but I'm going to keep doing this. And what Sarah was doing on the video was opening and closing a million times. That way it's used to doing what it has to do, so it's not a problem for your recipient every time they open and close it, right? You see? So I'm going to probably do that once it's really nice and dry. Okay, I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'll be back. While that is setting up, I'm going to do a little something to cover the front. And then I think I'm going to do is make a little ruffle so it kind of covers that area where that little guy is sticking out, just so we make it work. So this is 5.5 by 4 3/4. What I'm going to do is take my Martha Stewart punch, which I just found, and it was easy to find. I told you guys I knew I left it on my counter, and I just found it. And I'm like, oh, it was right in front of my face the other day when I wanted to use it. But anyhow, so and then you take it left to right. There's something stuck in there. Eyeball in that. That was a little bit off there. And here again, oh no, I don't say that's not, okay. Like I said, I made that a little bit off. And what I can do, ooh, that's perfect. I'll say I can trim off a little bit of this if this backside if this wasn't what I wanted. And then I just don't know how much of this I want to put on here. I think I just want the very thing. So whatever this is, it looks like it's probably about 4 inches because it looks like there's a 1/4 inch left right there. I'm going to trim that down and I'll be right back. Obviously, I'm going to have to get like a happy birthday die out. I was going to use the decorative trios, but that one has like butterflies. I'm like, I don't really want to introduce butterflies to this card because it's all cupcakes, you know. But I have plenty of happy birthday sentiments from all sorts of different companies and sets and things that I have, so that's not going to be a problem. And so I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to stick this to the front of the card. Super cute. So it was a little bit of work. It is a little bit, you know, creepy that it's not super exact. I think I've had pop and twist things back in the day where they show you exactly how much adhesive to put and exactly how far and all that. And this one's a little bit more loose, and it's probably because it's the same base for several different items. So, you know, it could be different between items, right? How much glue you need to put. I would probably use a dry adhesive just to have an idea, you know, tape runner, just to have an idea of where you want to place it. And then once you see it, maybe add a little extra glue, because I always like to add a little extra glue. The card is a little bit lumpy, I'm not going to lie. It's a little thick. But, okay, so here's our card. Cute. You don't see that little extra anymore, and there is that guy. Again, these guys are going to show up this way. Do you want to orient your paper the other way? However you want to do it. I think, you know, I just kept it the same. Again, you have to kind of play with it so it keeps doing its own thing, and it'll be trained to lay flat and to close the right way. Okay, you see that? Now, these instructions said to put glue in this bottom corner and the top, and that's why it's folding this way. I think whenever Sarah had it, and I told her she put glue at the top and at the bottom, the opposite way, it's probably going to swivel a different way. Okay, so just know that when you go to use it. Hopefully you see this one's going this way, following the instructions. It wants to go that way. So you can train it that way instead of kind of having to look at it like I did 45 million times to figure out. How cute though. I don't know what to say. It's very cute. I've never really colored paper like this. I know you guys have mentioned that with like paper piecing or like making little characters that you cut everything out in white and then color them. And I'm like, oh man. But it looks really cute. It just gives a different dimension, different look. So we got there, guys. We got there. This is what it takes. I mean, it's what it took for me. I don't know what to tell you, but really cute. I think it's very, very cute. What I'm going to do, again, Sarah was like, do it a million times so that your recipient, it'll just work. And as you guys can see, it's working plenty. Just at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit stiff. Okay, well, I made it, I mean, again, a small A2 size card. This will still fit in an A2 size envelope, even though it has a little bit extra, because A2 size envelopes usually give you a little bit here and there to put it in. If not, make your own envelope. We've been doing that recently. Pop a sentiment on here, and we're good to go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.
Okay guys, so of course I looked over in the pile of things I still have to review, and the Stamps of Life right on top. Happy birthday, so I'm using that. It does have a cupcake in the kit. It's not quite the same style, so I'm not going to use it, but I am just going to quickly, like this took not maybe a minute to cut out a base, and then the happy birthday sentiment on the craft paper, and then the other coordinating pink paper, and just layer it up, and then stuck it on top. So that was that. Alright guys, it's from the Oval Flip It's set. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is, I'll have the link in there in the description box. Alright guys, bye now.